Hi friends, today we are going to discuss about the syllabus of UGC NET paper 1. This will helpful for your exams. First when you write for your exam, first you consider the syllabus. When you study according to the syllabus, it will be helpful for your examinations. For the NET exam, for the paper 1, there are 10 topics. Okay, you have 10 topics. From each topics, they will ask 5 questions. If you answer the 5 questions, each carries 2 marks, you get 10 marks. So that is 50 questions are there, and for each questions, there carries 2 marks. So 100 marks is for the paper 1 for the UGC NET exam. So here I think it's better to start with the syllabus. Why? Because if you know the syllabus well and study according to the syllabus, you can easily crack your JRF and NET exam. So let us start with what the university is talking about the syllabus. So what is their why they are giving all these topics for the examination? They have given a detailed reason for that. The main objectives is to assess the teaching and research capability of the candidates. They clearly mentions that those who are writing for the NET exam, they have the ability to teach the students of higher level. So they have a teaching aptitude is needed, they have the research capabilities needed, they have to guide the students. So they should have the knowledge about the teaching, the research, and the properties or what are the materials that is needed for giving a good knowledge to the or education to the student. The test aims at assessing the teaching and research aptitude as well. The candidates are expected to possess and exhibit cognitive abilities, that is the intellectual abilities. The comprehension, that is how the understanding level, okay. The teacher should have an understanding level and have the capacity to analyze, evaluate and understand the structure of arguments, deductive and inductive reasoning. So they clearly mentions the logical side should be known by the teacher. Then only the teacher is able to help a student to guide them properly in the higher education level. The candidates are also expected to have a general awareness about teaching and learning process in higher education. They are also given some topics related to the ancient education system, present education system, the materials we are using in the present time, and what all the changes are happening throughout the years. All this knowledge are giving or all the topics are included in the exam is to know the teacher. The teacher should have a knowledge about how we can guide the student or to know more about the student. Further, they should be aware of the interaction between people, environment, natural resources, and their impact on the quality of life. As a good human being, a teacher has the responsibility responsibility to guide the students to be a responsible person. For that, the teacher should know about the problems existing in our society and how we can deal with them, and also guide the student to deal with these problems. Okay. So the 10 topics covers mainly they cover the teaching aptitude, the research aptitude, the intellectual level, the logical level, and the how the higher education system existing. All these things are there. They are given as topics. And other than this, okay, other than this, they are also given about some general awareness is also given. Let us go through the syllabus. Okay, see. First one is the teaching aptitude. We know that the first important thing for a teacher, what? She should have the capacity to be a teacher. Okay, first they are talking about what is teaching. Okay, what is teaching? A teaching, how we can teach. All these things are mentioning here, and the levels of teaching. Okay, the objectives of teaching here they mainly cover the topic teaching. Okay. Then other than a teacher, who is the main person here, that is the learner. Okay, the learner should have the learner's background, the academic level, their emotional level, their social level. All these things the teacher should know. Then only she is able to give a proper education to the student. Okay, the factors affecting the teaching, that is the other thing. Some teachers are able to teach the students very easily. Why? Because they know how to interact with the students well, and they know the proper surroundings from they are coming, and their education level, their backgrounds, and how to mentor them. They know how to do all these things. So the factors affecting the teaching is another point as mentioned here. Then methods of teaching. The different methods can be adopted by a teacher to teach the students. Okay, different methods can be adopted. And nowadays the offline method is there, online method is there, and the central government has imparted a different methods there. Swayam Prabha, like this, a lot of things that came to the new education system. So all these things are discussing in the teaching aptitude. Okay. Next is teaching supporting system. Oh, here the supporting systems. What are the supporting systems? The old methods, modern methods, ICT system. All these are discussing the teaching aptitude. And the not least thing, okay, the first thing, the teacher should have the knowledge about the subject. All these things to know the student. All these things are needed. And other than this, the teacher is able to evaluate a student. Okay, evaluate a student. Why? Because then only she is able to give the proper guidance, and to impart the knowledge in a proper way to the student. So here we discuss the evaluation system, the choice-based credit system, and the new system now exists in the higher level. All these things are discussing in the teaching aptitude. This is the one of the main topic, okay, of the paper 1. Here they will surely give 5 questions. They will not be direct questions. They are always indirect questions. So you should have a thorough knowledge about the topic. After knowing thorough knowledge about the topic, you are able to give answers to that indirect questions. So next to that come the research aptitude. That is the unit 2, that is the research aptitude. Here we know that NET students, after doing the NET exam or JRF, most of them are doing their PhDs. So they should have a knowledge about the research. Okay, so here a research topic is given, research aptitude, how to do a research, what all the things are in the research, and what all the things a person has to know about the research things. So what all things we can see here, what is the research, the types of research, the characteristics of research, all these things are discussing here. Methods of research. For the science students, they do the experiments. Okay, for the art students, they do the different method, that is descriptive method, historical method is there, qualitative method is there. So all these things are discussing in the research aptitude, the topic second. Then research has different steps are there. Mainly it has 8 steps. Okay, all these 8 steps are discussing one by one. They are discussing. After doing all the research and all these things, or after doing the PhD, the last thing is to do the submitting the thesis. So one should know how to write a thesis. That is discussing in the paper research aptitude, and how to write an article. If a PG student must know how to write an article. The format, the styles, APA style is there, MLA style is there. So we should know how to write an APA style or in a MLA style. All these things they should know. The PG student should know. So all these things are included in the research aptitude. Next is, we know that we are living in a net world, or we call ICT world. Okay, by information communication technology, here the how it is useful in the research. And by doing a research, one should have ethics. They should have an ethics. Without ethics, if somebody is doing a research paper, no doubt it should not be valid. Okay, it should not be valid. If it should be valid, you should have certain ethics. What all things are we needed to do and to do a research? Okay, all these things are discussed here. And unit 3, third one, that is comprehension. Okay, comprehension. Okay, unit 2 we have seen that the research aptitude. From there also they will ask 5 questions. Okay, they will ask 5 questions. Most of them are direct questions. Some are indirect or assertion type questions. We can see from that mode. And they will ask 5 questions and each carries 2 marks. So you can easily score 10 marks out of it. Okay. Next come the unit 3, comprehension. Okay, comprehension. What is comprehension? It is the understanding. A passage of text be given. They will give a written material. A passage is given. So you have to read that passage. After reading the passage, you have to answer the questions that is given below. So easy trick is that you first read the questions. Okay, so you will get an idea what it is about. Then you go to the passage and read it. Then it is easy for you to get to the answers. So that is the teacher should have a knowledge to read a passage and to understand it. So comprehension must be a topic in the net paper. Okay, so next one is the unit 4, that is the communication. A teacher should have a good communication skill. Then only she is able to impart the knowledge. Okay, without see, if a teacher go into the classroom and standing simply there, nobody is able to understand nothing. A teacher should have a right knowledge how to impart, that is verbal, non-verbal, all these things are needed inside a classroom to communicate well. So she should know how to communicate well. Here different types of communications are there, characteristics of communication, all these things are discussing. Okay, and how we can do an effective communication, and different types of verbal, non-verbal communications are discussing here. When you communicate something, sometimes they will not be properly communicated. Why? They will have some kind of barriers. So barriers is also discussing in the communication. And mass media, we know that mass media is it's a kind of revolution that is changing the society. So that thing is also discussing in the communication. So we know that here in the examination they are considering the society also, not only a classroom situation or higher education level. They are considering the society, how it is changing, how it is affecting the education system, how what all the changes we have to made in that. All these things are discussing. So the communication is the 4th unit. Understand? Next is the mathematical reasoning. You know, mathematical reasoning. Okay, mathematical reasoning and aptitude, it is about intellectual level. A teacher should know how to calculate some things. Okay, she should have some knowledge, that is some intellectual level should needed for teaching the classes. Types of reasoning. Okay, types of reasoning is that you know the types of reasoning, the number series. Certain numbers are given, they have to find out the missing numbers. Letter series is given, you have to find out codes and relationship, that is this person is this person's father and that person is that person's mother, like that they will give and ask the relationship and all. Then mathematical aptitude. Here clear cut max is asking fraction, time, distance, ratio, all these things they will ask. Okay, so you have to give answer to that kind of questions. Okay, all these things you have to discuss on. So that all the things will come under the mathematical reasoning. They will surely ask 5 questions out of it and you have to answer all that things. The next is the logical reasoning. Okay, what is logical reasoning? Logical reasoning. Okay, logic is something making you to understand a human being more better level. In higher education, it is not like the small classes. Okay, UP, LP or high school level. It's a higher level of education, that is college level students, PG students. Though they should have some arguments for and against a thing. So teacher should have a mental capacity to understand what one person is saying, what the other person is saying, why he is saying that, the arguments about the arguments, and the formal, informal, such things. That is informal fallacy. She should know how to use the language, the connotation is the, denotation is the. Then square of opposition. It is a main part from which at least 1 or 2 questions they will surely ask. Okay, they will ask questions. What is contrary, contradictory? They will ask some sentences will be asked and ask whether it is contrary, contradictory, or two of the sentences are true. Then what it will be, like that they will ask certain questions from this part. Then evaluating and distinguishing deductive and inductive reasoning. So deductive, we know that is from general to the specific, and inductive is from specific to the general. Such things we are going through in this logical reasoning. Then analogies we can see syllogism, Venn diagram, like that things. So it is Venn diagram is using to make the syllogism more easy way. Okay, to make it in a more easy way. And Indian logic, that is the other thing. Okay, you know what is Indian logic? Indian logic is, we know that the logic is already taught in the ancient times. Okay, they have certain means of knowledge they will keep. To prove a thing, certain things has to be considered. That is called pramanas. Okay, pramanas, pratyakshas, anumanas, upamanas, shabdas, arthabadi. All these things we will discuss in Indian logic. Okay, that is certain things. That is like if you find to investigate a thing, certain things should be there, as that logic is using in the ancient times. So that for the if the king is giving a judgment to certain cases or thing, this logic is using by the king. So the ancient times itself they are using this logics. Structure and kinds of anumanas. Anumana is inference. Okay, then Hedvat Basas. This is fallacies of inference. All these things are discussing in the Indian logic. So all this belong to the logical level. Surely they will ask the questions. Most of them are indirect, but you should have from the Indian logic side. Usually they will ask direct questions. Sometimes they will give some examples and ask them which they belongs to. So certain questions will be asked by them like that. So you should have a thorough knowledge about that too. Next is the unit that is 5, 6, 7, that is data interpretation. After doing a research, okay, after doing a research, a teacher should have a thorough knowledge about the what is happening. Okay, what is happening, and have to make a tabular or whatever it is. They have to make it a decision and to find out which has to done and which is not done, and what all the differences is there, what all the similarities is there. So by doing a data interpretation, we are easily find out the research things are all. Okay, so here the data interpretation, first thing is the sources, acquisition and classification of data, that is sources from all the places we get the data. To do a research we have to get the data. Okay, yeah, sometimes from directly from some places, sometimes indirectly. So there is primary data is there, in the secondary data is there, quantitative data is there, qualitative data is there. Okay, we have to represent them in graphical way, bar chart. Okay, sometimes pie chart, like circular level, table chart. Make a table chart is easy way. Usually everyone make the table charts easy way. Okay, then all these things they make in the data interpretations. They will give a table chart. Usually they will give a table chart, and they will ask 5 questions from it. You must know how to do an average, percentage. Usually they will ask profit and loss. All these things they will ask from this data interpretations. Okay, so be careful about that. You should have to know about the formulas using for that. Data interpretation, data and governance. Data and governance is something related to the governance. Governance means ruling. Okay, so how the government is ruling by using the data. Okay, how it is helpful, how ICT is helping in that. All these things are discussing in the data interpretation. Okay, next we can see the unit 8, that is information communication technology. We know that information communication technology has become a main part of the society. Okay, everyone, during this epidemic, we have seen that, or pandemic, whatever it is, we have seen that how the people are trusting on the networking system. That is, networking system is online system. How because nobody is able to go outside, we have to sit at home and have to do all the work. So how ICT is helping in education system and all these things. So here before that itself we have a lot of things in ICT, that is online systems are existing for studies. Here in this unit we are discussing about general abbreviations, terms. Certain terms are using in ICT. Okay, so that terms are we are discussing. Basis of internet, what all things are there in the internet, that is the computer, the what is CPU, like that basic things are asking. Then email, what is email. Sometimes they will ask about the file system. Okay, then terabyte, like that things is there. Okay, bit, terabyte, like that things is there. So you must know the order of all these things. They may ask such questions from them from this point. Then digital initiatives in higher education. So a lot of things are doing by the Higher Education Commission for making some digital initiatives. That is, a digital locker is there. Okay, certificates are taken from that. So like that, a lot of new things are coming for the higher education level. So all these things are we are discussing here. The ICT and governance, how this ICT helping in the governing system. Okay, how it is transparent to the people, how it is helpful to the people. All these things are discussing in this information communication technology. Unit 9, it is about people development and environment. So it is clearly mentioned here. It is about the society. Okay, it's about the society. It is not going to the education level, but when the students are the main part of a society, the teacher should have a knowledge about what is happening around us, and we have to make the students to understand it and make them to clear up the problems in our society. So here main two things is Millennium Development, Sustainable Development Goals. These two are very important, and usually they will ask questions from it. Okay. Then human and environment interactions. How the human beings are causing problem to the environment. All these things are discussing here. Okay. How they are intruding into the lives of wild animals or environment, climate. All these things are discussing here. Then environmental issues, it can be local, it can be regional, it can be global, how the countries have to react to it, how they have to do all these things are discussing here. Okay. Then climatic changes. Okay, climatic changes is we know it is a global problem. If ozone is depleting, it is not only affecting one area, it is affecting the whole area. When the ice started melting, the sea level rises, all this is affecting all countries. So it is not affecting a particular area. It is affecting the most of the people in all around the globe. So environment, we have to study surely about the environment system. So that is what we are studying here. And the impact of pollutants on human health, how the pollutants are causing problem to the human beings. Okay, they are making a lot of problems to the human beings, how it is doing, and such questions will also be asked by them. So mainly they ask from Millennium Development Sustainable Goals, then this some pollutants. Okay, then they will ask the question from energy resources. Okay, the environment is giving a lot of energy resources for the human beings, that is solar, wind, soil, hydro. Okay, so we have to use it in a proper way, then it will be helpful for us. So we have to use it in a right way, and that is we are discussing here. Natural hazards and disaster mitigation, how we can stop the natural hazards, all these things are discussing. Okay, then next main area is Environmental Protection Act, National Action Plan on Climate Change, Montreal Protocol, Rio Summit, conventions, Kyoto Protocol, Paris Agreement, International Solar Alliance. All these things are very important. Surely they will ask one question from it. Okay, or at least one question from it. So they will ask sometimes ask Rio Summit this one mainly intended for this. They will give four answers, and you have to find the answer out of it. Okay, they will ask a question and they give four choices. From the four choices we have to select one. It should be suitable to this question. Okay, International Solar Alliance, we know that it is from India. So we should have a thorough knowledge about all these things. They will ask 5 questions from this unit also. Most of them are direct questions, and usually we have to have a right knowledge about it thoroughly. We have to study each act's year, their main aim, their objectives, all these things we have to study clearly here. Understand? And the last topic we have is higher education system. So we are doing the net exam for the higher education system. So we have to know about its history. So from the ancient time onwards till now and to the future, what all the changes is happening to the education system. That is what we are discussing in the higher education system. So institution of higher learning and education in ancient India. Understand? Institution of higher learning and education in ancient India. That is here how the higher education system has happened in ancient time. There is Gurukula system, Sutras age, we know the ancient Vedic age. All these things are discussing in the higher education system. Then evolution of the higher learning. Higher learning pre independent and post-independent, and what is now happening. All these things are discussing in the higher education system. Then there is oriental, conventional and non-conventional. That is traditional and non-traditional. Oriental means Eastern way of learning. Then professional, technical, skill-based education. Education is of different types. Professional is the MBBS, like that is the professional. Then technical is the skill-based is the, okay. So all this we are discussing, such things are there. Then value education is very important. Even though we gave all types of education, if values not exist, then society become very corrupted and not even good for no one to live. So talking about that also, the value education is very important. So value education has to be imparted from the small classes itself. So higher education system also we have to impart the value education in different ways. So all these things are discussing, different values are discussing the. Then environmental education, that is also very important. We are living in a society, and if we affect the environment will give it back, okay. So we have to do a proper protection to the environment. It should not be destroyed. So environment education is needed. So importance of it, how we can do it, all these things are discussing. Then policies, governance and administration, that is the another thing, okay. Here the administration policy, the parliament has Indian parliament, how it made, and who all are behind it, what all are the acts, what acts are there for the protection of the education. For the SC/ST acts is there, minority section act is there, for the language section there is an act is there, then institutions there is another act is there, for UGC there is an act. So what are the articles are there, acts are there, all this for the building up of the right type of education system. And how the governance is going on. Governance, we know that is president, vice president, prime minister, their duties, how they are appointed, how they are declining from their position, what all the responsibilities are for them, and policies what are making by the parliament. All such things are discussing here. And about the parliamentary constitution, here we are mainly discussing about the constitution of India. All these things are discussing in the higher education system. So we are getting a clear view about what is happening from the ancient till now and to the future also. So we discussed all the 10 topics, okay, all the 10 topics one by one. From first one is teaching aptitude, then research, comprehension is there, communication is there, understand, then environmental is there, we discussed about ICT is there, then mathematical reasoning is there, logical reasoning is there. Understood. So I like that there are 10 topics is there. From each topics they will ask 5 questions, and each question carries 2 marks. Understood. So total they have 50 questions are there. Only 50 questions is there, okay. 50 questions, each question carries 2 marks. So you should prepare well for this exam. You are able to crack the exam easily. First you have to know the thorough knowledge of the subject. Then if you get the syllabus correctly, and you have to study according to the syllabus. If you study according to the syllabus, you are able to crack the exam very easily. You don't go through all the textbooks, all the things that is your materials you are getting. You just take the topics and study it detailed way. Okay, that is enough. And I am here to help you to crack the exam. Okay, I am giving from here onwards, from each topics. I will take each topic and give the important notes and lectures for each topics. You will be easily able to crack it, and there you will get the notes also there, lectures is also there, and you are easily able to crack the exam. I am always with you, and don't worry, be happy to crack your exams and reach your goal. Okay, and what you have to do is that you just subscribe this channel, then only you are able to get other videos I am putting for you. So you just keep on touch with me and go on subscribing this channel and study well, preparing from now itself. If you have already started, okay, brushing up your preparations, all the notes and lectures are there. Don't worry, be happy. Okay, we can meet in the next class. Thanks.